It's going to be a radical change in administrative law in New South Wales. NCAT, which picked up the naming of other tribunals like in Victoria, it's the New South Wales, that's the N, Civil and Administrative Tribunal. So it's going to be a court and a tribunal at the same time. It's going to do merits review of government decisions, and it's going to hear cases, just like a small claims court. It's an amalgamation of 23 different tribunals, including the ADT, which itself was an amalgamation of 15 tribunals. So it's a super tribunal by any standards. It's going to be probably the biggest super tribunal in the country, and it's being made in two tranches. The first one's already been through Parliament. First bill creating the structure, saying it's going to have a Supreme Court judge as the president and allowing for members and basic things. The second round is happening in the next few weeks, as it happens, where the tribunal will be given jurisdiction, it'll be given functions, and it'll be given powers. We're working on those at the moment through what's called the reference group and the steering committee. About 60 or 70 lawyers are currently scribbling what the powers should be and what the duties should be, and exactly what jurisdiction this new tribunal will have. That'll go through Parliament in the next session in a few months, and it will start operating on the 1st of January next year. We don't know where, we don't know who's going to lead it, but it will need some significant resources because it takes in big tribunals like the CTTT. The Consumer Trader and Tenancy Tribunal will be a part of this new thing. The ADT will be a part of it, the Medical Tribunal. Everyone's in, and that's the way it should have been. We lobbied for this 20 years ago, and all we got was the ADT. And we said medicine should be in there, pharmacists, nurses, all the medical tribunals should be part of it, and they now will be. So, in a sense, it's a new beginning in New South Wales, a total wipe the slate clean, start from scratch. They are not mirroring the provisions of the ADT, which itself could have been a super tribunal. Everyone's looking at everything from scratch, so it's quite exciting. Just as the NCAT is a radical change to the administrative law in New South Wales, it's going to be a radical change to the service as well. We'll need to remove the ADT Act and its commentary, which is a feature of the service now. It'll have to be removed by the 1st of January next year, and it will be replaced by the NCAT legislation, both acts of Parliament, and by that time there'll be time for commentary as well. So we'll create new commentary based on what the law should be. It'll be practical, the same as the ADT commentary, and it'll be ready for operation by the 1st of January next year. So as soon as the new tribunal with its new Supreme Court judge, presidential head, starts operating, we'll be able to take those decisions and supplement that commentary. So it will be the best thing that one can take to the tribunal and one can use at the tribunal. And we have the luxury of being able to take the second act in a few months' time, and we'll have a few months to develop the commentary for the service. So it'll be looking very, very good on January 1. I consult it nearly every day, and as you know, I practice in administrative law, so I'm in the ADT, and I need to look it up to find out what the tribunal's powers are on a particular thing. If I'm making a costs applications, there's a lot of law on that in the ADT, and there will be in the new NCAT significant controversy on costs. In fact, 10 times the controversy, because the 23 jurisdictions that are coming into the one all have disparate costs requirements. So it's going to be a nightmare. So the tribunal, all that will be sorted out in the commentary, and I refer to that. The privacy issues, the ombudsman issues, they come up from time to time, once or twice a week, and you need to refer to them and explain to clients, particularly when you're in conference, what the law is, and you need it at the last minute. Also, the Interpretation Act at the end is very handy. No practitioner should be more than 3 or 4 feet away from their own copy of the Interpretation Act, and we have plans to annotate that Act and make it even more useful in time, but not annotate it with academic annotations, but they're going to be practical and succinct, the sort of thing you need to say when you're in court and you're referring to Section 45 of the Interpretation Act. You need a short spiel, a short submission to have, and that's the intention of the service. In fact, that's the philosophy of the entire service, and also of Flick's Federal Administrative Law and the Victorian and Queensland ones too. They're short, they're pithy, they're punchy, and they replace the sort of researches you need to do urgently and the submissions you need to make urgently. And that's the philosophy. Online is probably the one I would say last, but is the one I can think of immediately, is to cut and paste something that you've seen in the service into your submissions. I know it sounds a bit off to cut and paste one's own work, but my service is a collection of a number of authors, including from the Crown Solicitors and Juliet Lucy. And I will go online to cut and paste. I will also go online to do a search where I know the index won't give it to me, and sometimes that's very helpful too. But if I'm browsing and I just want to know where to find something that might be of assistance, then I'll pull it off the shelf and look, or if I'm in court, I'll take it to court with me. But where I'm putting a written submission together and I know it's in the service and I know where to find it, I will go online, grab it electronically and paste it into the submissions. That means it's very efficient, it's very fast, that's very helpful.